All right, I'd like to welcome everybody back to the Call on Me podcast. You already know who I am. It's Danny De Niro. Got my guy King with me. And we got Miss Monica. So today, it's a conversation that I have constantly with everybody. That, as black folks, especially if you've been in the streets or whatever, when you really look at it, we got a fucked up normal. Everything we think is normal is really some fucked up shit when we present it to somebody else. Y'all get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Like how, it's just crazy, in and out of jail, shootouts, fights, all of that we think is normal really is a terrible situation. What you think about that, Monica?
I think it's a terrible situation. I work in a factory. I've had men come up to me before and say, "How many children do you have?" When I respond to them, they say, "Oh, are they all by your husband?" Like that's not normal for a black woman to have children with one man and be married to him.
Damn, I wasn't even thinking about that part. I get that too.
It's very common where I work, like very common. And it shocks them. Not only am I married to him, that I am still married to him after having children.
So they just think that niggas can't even get married.
Yeah, that you can't get
married.
You
can't get married, and if you do, you ain't gonna stay
Or
married.
if you are married, those aren't his children. He's taking care of someone else's children. Exactly.
Well, I think my first time really realizing that I normal was fucked up was at a job interview when I was asked about my background.
Why do you assume I have a background?
What they asked?
I'd rather not disclose that.
When they come out, do you have felonies, sir?
Yeah, I think without saying too much, is they just want to they want you to enlighten them. You know what I mean? So like, it don't have to necessarily be like you was convicted of anything, but if you've been charged with something, especially in the field that I work in, they want to know like what's going on. But like, it's normal for us to be charged with a drug or something where we grew up from because that's just what it was.
Period, point blank.
So when you sit there talking across a person who don't know that's
right.
normal, to them they're looking at like, oh, do we want to take this chance on you?
Right.
But in reality, the people that I'm dealing with need to see something that they're normal and what they're used to.
Right.
But when you start talking about kids, everything is super
that's
sensitive.
A game changer.
Yeah.
And that's funny that Anthony said that because I have been incarcerated before over a suspended license. They came to my house, arrested me like May 8th after just renewing a license, May 5th. And when I was downtown in Marion County, she asked me, do I have any new tattoos? And me being the woman that I am and having the mouth and attitude that I have, and I said, what makes you assume I've been here before? I've never been here before. I've never been incarcerated a day in my life. And she literally told me to get out of line and go back to the holding cell because she gave me energy and I reciprocated that same energy with her.
So like that.
No, she didn't like that, but it just made me look like.
I had about 4 more hours of your stay.
Yeah, and it did.
It's gonna be the last one we call up.
But I said, what about me makes her think that I've been here before? I'm down here for a suspended license, and she was a black woman, and that is even more of an issue. That we
perpetuate it too. It ain't just the white folks and all that stuff.
Yes,
we do the same thing.
We do it to each other.
Well, I tell you a fucked up normal because we was upstairs, we was kind of off the record when we was just rapping, and Monica said, "I only know 2 men in my life that ain't never been locked up." So I truly went outside, smoked a cigarette, and started thinking, do I know anybody that haven't?
Anybody.
Yes.
And I can honestly say that I call a friend or somebody close to me that I talk to or whatever, I don't know nobody that hasn't.
You done been down there.
Yeah, you've been down
there. You know what I mean?
Even
if you don't even live that kind of life, you done been there.
Even with me, like I said, they came to my house and got me over a suspended license.
So is that a fucked up normal or is the world got us in a fucked up place?
It's both.
The fucked up normal was created and then we relish in it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Some of the shit, we relish in the shit. I look at that like, when I quit watching that reality TV bullshit.
Exactly.
The fucked up normals that we have, then they amplify that shit. So now we confrontational. We ready to fight for anything. You know what I mean?
And that's why I don't.
And for us, it's normal, or just how we interact with each other. So people can see it from the outside looking in and get nervous about it.
Yeah, and assume that that's how we are.
Yeah. So here's a fucked up normal though, because think about it. The first time you went down there, I can remember mine. You don't get out feeling like, oh, I really fucked up.
Yeah.
You kind of get out with a, all right, I done did it too now.
Yeah.
Like, so you ain't tripping out going back. Like, my uncle used to tell me all the time, fear a man who knows that he can do time.
Yeah.
Because once you know you can do it, you ain't really even tripping.
A lot of young niggas, they not tripping, or like a fucked up normal is.
I ain't
like
got no more time than me.
With some of my niggas that did time, a couple of them get out, papers, probation or parole or whatever, and instead of just following these rules until you done, motherfuckers say fuck it.
Because
I'm just run.
Exactly.
Like, and it's normal, and it's normal to be chilling out with niggas with warrants and shit. You know what I mean? And
why is that normal?
I don't know.
Who?
I think some of it, as far as that, when we think about police and all that shit, I know, like, growing up for us with who we had in our neighborhood, you was better off just running, taking your chances of getting away. Because if they pull up on you, they gonna be on some bullshit. They gonna be on some bullshit anyway.
Why?
Because you know they about to be on some bullshit.
But the world,
and you ain't even gotta
and
be
they
dirty.
know you about to run.
And you ain't get so who's fucked up?
Exactly.
But the world makes you feel.
And
like,
they was black too.
But the world makes you feel like it's normal too, though, because like let's say Fox 59, Channel 8.
They help
news.
you.
Yes.
Yeah, because
feed
like,
it to you.
A Channel 8, 13, 16-year-old boy dies in Howellville. 30-second clip. Probably won't ever hear it again. 16-year-old boy dies in Westfield, Brownsburg. Oh, that's shit.
On the news every day.
Because it ain't normal.
It ain't normal.
Homicide ain't normal out there.
Where they live.
That's crazy.
I'm gonna give y'all another example.
That's unfair.
I take Levin and Isaiah.
Fair. Don't even start with fair.
Papa Murphy's with me one day after work. All right. They don't really like Papa Murphy's. I'm like, I'm about to get into Papa Murphy's. I go in there. That's
by the way.
That's where I'm about to go. There is a woman in front of me, and I am there, and then there's a woman behind me. The woman in front of me pays for her order. She moves over to the side. I step up with the boys with my work clothes on. I work at a factory. I'm always in t-shirts and sweatpants.
EBT.
The man to me, I think you know this story, looked me dead in my face and said, EBT or cash. And I literally said, what about me makes you think that I have food stamps? And the woman in front of me, I only had 2 of my children with me. Now, granted, I had on sweatpants, probably some dirty shoes, a t-shirt. You know, they were probably
2 kids, 7 different daddies.
Right. So when I asked him that, he said, I don't know. And what made it worse was the woman in front of me turned around and said, he didn't ask me.
See, and that's the type of shit that you need too. It ain't us that's gonna be able to change.
He didn't ask me if I was paying for food. Yes. So what my boys did, because it's normal for them to see me act the way I was about to act, they went out to the car. Because now I don't.
Here go mama on
I don't want to. What about me makes you think that I have food stamps? I've never had food stamps. What about me makes you think that I have cash or any type of EBT card? I've worked since I was 18.
And that's a fucked up thing. So you get put in the situation, and then if you act accordingly, you still get that stereotype, angry black woman.
So now I'm not on food stamps. I'm angry. Yes.
And you still lose, and we still lose. Even when we wronged, we still somehow lose. Yeah. And then not being, you know what I mean, not being unified about the shit. Because sometimes with normal, like if you're in the house and some shit get left, a shoe get left in the hallway. If you keep walking past that shoe, it'll just be normal. You won't even notice the shit no more.
I completely agree.
Yeah. Just like, just think about coming up. When you first start driving, you bang your hat whatever way you bang it. Police get behind you, straighten it up. You don't even think about it. Yeah. It's normal. Straighten it up or take the shit off. Yeah. Like even when I first moved to Carmel, I could be getting off. But look, I could be getting off work. Once I'm getting off that highway on the Keystone, about to cross 96, take my hood off. If I got my hat on, I'm taking it off.
Yeah. But why? Why is that? Why did that become your normal? What led you
because
to
of where
that?
I came from, it got normal to me because it happened so often.
But let's say this though.
You know what I mean? So you what you really doing, you trying to minimize your chances of the bullshit.
But let's be honest though.
Hold on, let me call on me. To add to that, the one thing that I can piggyback on that, now that I got my gun permit, I don't even display it. My gun permit is behind other shit.
Right.
Because I know what that could lead to.
Exactly.
Because from now, other than them already assuming I got a gun.
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh, you got it's guaranteed to be a gun.
Sir, can you step out of the car? Is
I
there
don't
a gun in
you
your
don't
vehicle?
want to reach for shit. You don't want to grab for shit
You don't
because
want
for
to do
us,
anything.
it's normal.
It's normal.
It's a fucked up normal that he gonna fuck me up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now it's a normal that people are seeing now, like that there's a chance you can get killed behind the bullshit.
Exactly.
And for us, it's been a normal that we knew about, but now the shit is being recorded.
And on that topic, we hit on that a little bit earlier. It's normal when we say he only got 4 years. But when you talk to somebody
Crazy.
in another community or another race or
Pass out.
4 years.
Yeah.
That's a presidential term.
Why is that normal? Why do we not appreciate the 4 years of life being taken away from you out in the community with your children, with your woman, with your mother? Think about how many people you lose in 4 years. As a matter of fact, think about how many people we lost this year in 4 months, in 4 days, to incarceration, to jail, to anything.
I used to describe to people like, I said, growing up, you go to school. By the time we get to high school, that's when shit start changing. We would go, about 50 of us start school. The next week is probably 20 of us left.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then, by the time you finish school, you finish. After that, you're going to either sell drugs, you're going to go work for some bullshit, or they hitting licks. And I done told plenty of my niggas that, in my younger days that I put on, like, them is your 3 choices. Rob, job, or you're going to have to get on deck.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And for us, it's a normal. It's a fucked up normal, but it's normal. Like, just think about how many older people, mamas, daddies and shit, like, they would see me come around so they know that somebody's about to buy something.
Yeah.
When you see me, that was a normal because that's what it is in the neighborhood.
But you created that normal.
And it was a normal pathway. Like, we didn't blaze this trail.
But it depends, though, because it wasn't really normal. It's our normal.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's our fucked up normal.
It's our fucked up
I used to, like, when I was in high school, I don't know if you say blessed, but I was fortunate enough to have a car with some rims on it or whatever. So when I pick a young lady up on a date, I used to wonder, like, why the daddy mad? But in his mind, he like, boy, you 16, 17 years old, and you
I know where that came from.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So you looking at it like, now that you at an older age, you look at it like, well, dang, how did that, like?
Because they lived
that's
that
crazy
normal.
you said that.
They already lived that
My
normal.
husband had a car, and he worked at Wendy's. When I met him, he had a vehicle.
Well, I had a job, too.
But exactly, but he didn't do that. But my family knew his family, so they assumed that's what he did.
Well, was blessing him, dude.
But when I met him, he didn't. And something else I want to touch on about that normal. My kids don't know my normal. They have not grown up around what I grew up with. So when they see certain things, crackheads on the street, people living under the bridge,
it ain't a normal.
they like, Mom, what is going on? It's not normal to them. I can remember Levin coming home one day when he was in the 5th grade, and he had a skateboard. And one of the kids said to him, "You a white boy," because he had a skateboard. It was not normal to see a black child
with a skateboard.
Or when people meet my children, they say, "Oh, they speak so well." How did you expect them to speak? I could be Monica,
and that right you know what I'm saying? That's them underhanded comments and shit. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, why do you acknowledge?
It's an underhanded insult.
Why do you acknowledge somebody for speaking well? You wouldn't.
Exactly. Or why
anybody else?
Why does he have to be deemed a white boy because he rides a skateboard? Or a white boy because he's an honor student, or a white boy because he speaks well.
Yep, and that's we passed them fucked up normal. And
that's not just white people, that's black people too. Saying that it's my son is not normal because he's not what you are used to. But I tell Levin and them all the time, like when I took them out to California, we hardly seen any black relationships. Everybody was black with a Haitian or black with a Vietnamese,
whatever,
Chinese,
California,
and
it
was not normal for them, but they embraced it.
Box. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I just think it's funny that because my child speaks well, or because my oldest has been on honor roll since he's been in school, he's National Honor Society, that it's not normal for him to be intelligent. It's not normal for Lauren to speak so well or flip well and shit.
Yeah, I mean, if he came up around me, like he wouldn't be the normal. Cause growing up, I thought it was normal for your daddy not to be.
But you are not considered the normal.
I wasn't even normal.
You beat
in my fucked up normal. I was still abnormal from a lot of the shit. But a lot of my normals, like when I first started getting shipped out to smarter schools.
Intelligence is abnormal around us, though.
But around us, it's not. It's who views us. Yeah. We know we're intelligent.
Yeah.
See, and that, I mean, but you go through that, like when people consider you smart, sometimes you will dim your light.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
So the fucked up normal is more of a
it's a perspective. Yes. But but we stereotype.
Some of it's real. Some of it's real, and some of it is put on you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because it's just like some people that are lacking in this department, they're gonna project it onto you.
Exactly.
Or if they jealous of you, they project it onto you. You everything that makes them mad.
Exactly.
And you might not have did shit.
Yeah.
I just now walked in the room.
The first thing that people would, when they would meet my husband, people who I work with, or people who I knew from just anywhere, the first thing they ask him, what do you do? They want to know how we have what we have, or we dress the way we dress, or we are out to eat where they are out to eat. If he's not a criminal. Is he a criminal? And it took him his whole life to become a criminal. But prior to that, you had already deemed him
as a criminal.
A criminal.
And that changes your whole
perspective,
interaction.
Yes.
Your whole interaction with a person. And you can't even...
But
you might be missing out on a bomb-ass connection. Y'all might have a fucking business ideas that match perfectly. But because you got a tattoo on your neck, tattoos on your arm, I might not even ever approach you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's even more fucked up when we do it to each other.
Exactly.
And like I was thinking of another normal.
That's where my mind is going.
Another normal that we got, like when Nipsey got killed. About a week after that, it started getting divided. Okay, Nipsey got killed, Nipsey doing this, he doing that, who doing that. Then you got people, but Tupac was doing it first.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. He didn't do this, he didn't do that. Like,
why do we have to compare greatness?
Why do we got to take away from one's greatness?
Yeah, you don't have to dim my light
like,
for you to shine.
We can all be great. What is wrong? But
that's black normal. That's that crabs in the burrow.
And I fucked up normal. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or if you start doing good, just like with shit like that, I'm sure dude, I mean, I'm putting thoughts in his head, but he probably think, this nigga think he better than me, blah, blah, blah. So you feel like you ain't shit, so you project it onto me.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Right. Or if you tell a nigga like, hey man,
I made a Facebook.
You need to quit fucking with that shit. Or why don't you come invest your money in this? This nigga think he better than me.
Yeah.
Cause such and such or blah, 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 blah. And jealousy gets people killed.
Exactly.
Hate gets people killed. I might not have done shit to you.
Dude, I made a Facebook status earlier on my way here thinking about all this. And I said, there's a thin line between I'm hating on you and constructive criticism.
You damn right.
And the thin line is the messenger.
It is.
Yeah.
It
you know
is.
What I'm saying?
Okay. And the delivery.
Yeah.
The delivery.
Yeah.
No, I think it's the messenger. Because like if you really respect the person's opinion, their delivery can't be that fucked up because you respect them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But when it's a person that you kind of halfway feel like, hey, are they in or they out?
But it's also
you might take it the wrong way.
It's also your state of mind. So sometimes it is the delivery because even though I respect Danny, if he says something in a certain kind of way,
sideways,
I might take it as I didn't like his delivery. But we've always had that relationship.
Right.
So why now did it bother me? Because it's me. It's not him.
And you
project. So now it's turned back into the constructive criticism.
Exactly.
Because he ain't gonna tell me nothing that ain't true or that's gonna hurt me. So I mean, that's.
But I have friends like that when they think it's normal to be drunk at 10 in the morning, and I'm like, hey, that's not normal for you. Well, it's normal for me because I work midnights. So that's their justification.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
when you working
we're justifying people too.
Yeah,
that's a normal.
That's normal.
That is normal.
Because it is. I'm gonna do that.
No, because a third shift worker at 10 in the morning, what should you really be doing? I mean, I know what I would be doing. I would be asleep.
But it depends on because some third shift workers wake up at 9 o'clock to go to work at 11. So
True.
You can't really.
But again, it's what's normal, and that's the thing about what's normal.
Now, if you ain't got no job and you're doing 10 a.m.
See, that's a normal across borders too, because a lot of people, black, white, purple, green, it don't even matter. They feel like, I used to be one of them people. Sun come out, this a day we should be fucked up. Nigga, we've had plenty of time.
Yeah, we said
Exactly.
that, yeah. I mean,
Certain situations you like, or I mean like,
It's nice outside.
or overeating. Think about your health. Oh, I did this. I've been going to the gym 5 days this week. Saturday I deserve a fucking 8 scoop Sunday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you work against yourself because of your fucked up.
And that's part.
We an instant gratification type of people.
So my question is,
who I talk to about sponsorships? This is Danny from the Call On Me podcast. I'm very popular. I got about 17 or 18 viewers per week. No, not million. 17 total. Friends, family, cousins, couple homeboys from the hood. We're growing. I mean, we started out at 12 viewers. All we drink is Corona on my show. Then if you could just supply me with the Corona. Hello? That should work.
so if our normal
Is fucked up.
how do we fix those, and I'm saying youth-wise or people who are younger than us, because even a 25-year-old man can still be fixed at this point. How do we fix our bad normal and make it better for them to see that we got to get outside of what we think is normal?
Right.
I think, first off, with anything, man, I've been big on this lately, is your mindset.
Yeah.
I mean, when you come up in certain situations, you see certain shit, and you like, I'm not going to be like that.
My
you know
mindset,
what I mean? You see
let me
some
help you
bad
though.
shit
Before
like
you answer that, though, you said mindset. Okay, so most people's mindset is going to be, how do I make money? So if you got a fucked up normal of how to get money, say you're trying to finesse it, whatever it is, I'm going to take out a loan and file bankruptcy, whatever it may be. How do you get people out of this fucked up mindset of survival? Because in their mind, all they trying to do is survive.
One of the main things, you gotta reach back.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It has to be people that reach back. After you figure some shit out, it's stuff that I done learned that I was heavy on with my nephews when I was younger. Now that I'm older, I wouldn't dare steer them into none of that bullshit I was talking about. I mean, even back in my music days, some songs I listened to, like, I ain't with that shit no more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's that growth, and like, and that's one of my biggest issues. I mean, part of fucked up normal, like, with me listening to rap music sometimes. Like, you owe it to people when you figure it out
To teach. To educate.
teach the people.
To go back.
Because it's one thing for me to rap about my lifestyle. But once you start crossing your lifestyle, turning it into glorification, and all I tell you is the good shit, but I'm not telling you
Exactly.
you might die.
Exactly.
You might go to jail for 30. Like, I'm fucked up.
Your
I
kids
seen
might
a
be
post the
killed.
other day and
Yeah.
said, man, you can't call yourself
You damn right.
You can't call yourself a big homie if you sending all your little homies to jail.
You damn right.
And that's some real shit. Cause like, I grew up in the era, like, older niggas, back when I was balling on the football field, niggas wouldn't sell me, wouldn't let me touch shit.
Yeah.
Do no other than like holding it when police come. Other than that,
That's the
like,
worst thing to do.
but I'm saying,
I get
but
what
they
you're saying.
knew the little
I get what
niggas
you're
wasn't
saying.
about to get searched.
Right.
They not gonna fuck with the little niggas.
Yeah.
But they not about to put me in situations like, nah, then you going to the NFL.
And it's our
You doing
job
this,
to
telling me
do
that shit.
Yeah.
Now, they gone. Our generation, some niggas like in the old days, the OGs start smoking. No more OGs now. Everybody running around. Wow, no rules. Women can get it.
And
Kids can get it.
Anybody.
Anybody can get it.
Anybody.
Because ain't nobody telling them that. Like, nigga, that shit.
The youngsters don't listen.
No.
Either, though.
No.
Because
but
they
we
took the niggas that
but
could
we
talk
could
to
do
them
a better
away.
job of teaching. Like I said, my boys don't know my normal. My father died when I was in the 5th grade. They left him hanging out of his car in the meadows. He was a heroin addict. He used to cheat on my mom. I see my mom chasing him down the street. I don't want my children to see that. So I've taught them a different normal than what I know. I look at my uncles.
Mine too.
You know, my uncles, every single one of my uncles, they're great fathers. They've been at their job for 20, 30 years. They take care of their children. They're married. You know, they vacation. They got boats. They got houses. They have all these things. So even though my mother necessarily didn't show me those things,
You still seen
I saw it. And I knew, I know this sounds bad, but I knew I didn't want to necessarily walk in her footsteps. But the things I saw my aunts do, I wanted to do that. I wanted to take my kids to Florida. I wanted to travel with my husband. I wanted to do that. And my kids
So
now.
you didn't envy or get jealous. And motivated you.
No, because you know what? When my aunts went on vacation and my mother, you know, my father died. So when my mother had to work 12 hours, you know what my mother did? She paid to send me and my brother. She didn't go. She paid to send us because she wanted us to see more than what 46205 had to offer.
Yeah, exposure.
You know what I'm saying?
Which is a lot, though.
Yeah, and you know, my aunt, she retired. My uncle, he's been a Methodist for 30 years. My other uncle, post office, 30 years. You know, my mom, she did switch jobs, but she always had good jobs. But it was normal to see my mother go to work all day, come home and cook, call my dad, go look for him, struggle and all that.
Struggle was normal. That's one of the major things.
Yeah, that was normal.
Was normal.
My son will text me right now a Gucci shirt.
And dare text my mama.
At 16,
none of that shit.
He will text me a Gucci shirt and say, hey, can I have this? And my rebuttal to him would be, what have you done this week to earn this shirt? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where your grades
That's
at?
a good answer.
What have you done around the house?
My response would have been like...
Or this. When both of my...
What?
Levin is different than Isaiah because Isaiah is frugal. He has learned because of the way he was raised at his mother's and through me that you don't spend everything you have. I'm still installing that in Levin.
That's one of the
Levin
biggest...
will get a check, and I'm not kidding. He will get on Cash App and his check will be gone. So since he wasn't learning to save, I forced him to.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest.
Him to.
That's one of the biggest normals that we gotta change. Like
teaching our kids to save.
Financial intelligence.
Yes.
Like I talk to people like my mama. My mama will be 73 this year. Grew up in the South. They wasn't teaching no little young black kids, especially not no girls.
It was normal to be broke.
No finances
and stuff like that.
So she didn't know the stuff.
It was normal to check the check.
It was normal to be a slave.
Exactly.
Normal.
That was normal.
Yeah.
That was normal, and that's not that long ago.
No.
But the trickle down of it, like to where then when we started getting stuff, I'ma spend it.
Exactly.
I ain't never had nothing.
I'ma spend it
soon as I get it. Think about tax checks. You know how I love tax checks and niggas that flipping tax checks. But that's why you see so many people. I done heard ridiculous tax refunds. Yeah. Niggas grinding would wish for a $6,000 play.
Exactly.
$8,000 play. And then the shit is gone. Do you know what you can start?
I got an $8,000
with a $7,000 lump sum.
Took it.
Yeah, that sucks.
Because my house
was
doing things.
It wasn't normal for you.
That was normal to them, and didn't realize how it would affect our home. And
that's another. I'm glad you said that, nigga, because we will leverage our future for right now.
For right now.
You will bargain your future.
For right now. And that's
for
what everything.
Right now.
That's what drugs, money,
the game.
Everything.
But
how many times you done suited up and went out in the streets like, we about to fuck somebody up.
It's survival. That's the fucked up.
But why? But why?
That's all we can do is survive.
Why? Why? That's not an answer though. Why?
Because we don't.
I mean, some of it though was created for us. It was created for us. But this is what I've been on too.
To change it?
That's what I was gonna say. So this is what I've been on lately. Like, if I seen all this happen, cool. This laid my foundation. How long can you still? Matter of fact, it was the R. Kelly. How long can you still use that as an excuse?
You can't.
Because of what was done to me.
That's what I mean.
I'm going to keep on passing it down. How long can you use that as an excuse? Well, my family grew up broke, so shit, I'm going to be broke.
That's all I know.
No, but see,
I grew up in a family of this, so I got to do this.
Yeah. But see, my normal, and how I think we can fix it is I think you have to realize and be appreciative of the ones who struggled before you.
Exactly.
So I feel like regardless
of whatever, that's your best repayment.
Whatever my mama did or decided to do for whatever she thought was best for us, I never want her to feel like she made a mistake.
Exactly.
Regardless whether it was good, bad, or indifferent.
Yes, and that's what I tell my boys.
So I have to keep striving to be like, I mean, I guess we all as children still want your parent to be proud at the end of the day.
And that's what
I remember the one time, man, when I was doing my thing and my mama told me to my face, I am so disappointed in you.
If that doesn't kill
that
you,
shit hurt. Now, I mean, I didn't stop. But just having that thought in your mind, like that every move you making,
you disappointed.
That she's not gonna be happy. You know what I mean? It don't matter how much money. And I mean, and the wifey was the same way.
Yeah, but
no matter how much money I made, no matter what car I bought, she didn't care.
No.
That wasn't something that she agreed with. It wasn't her normal.
It wasn't worth
And-
the sacrifice
of what it'll cost.
of
The
what it
real
would
cost.
Your life.
The cost.
Your
But
life.
But you know what? Our normal is our parents and grandparents steady praying for the future, though. So that's a normal we got above.
And I'm gonna be honest, I do that.
Yeah.
I do that. I pray over my children at night. Literally, like when they are in the bed, I go over them and pray. And I tell people a lot. I would have never. I mean, the stuff I was doing as a teenager, the people who I hung with,
Man.
you know. And I remember Denny telling me all the time, "You don't need to know everything," and that has stuck with me as an adult because a lot of times when they was doing stuff, you know.
Yeah.
I would ask questions and he would answer, but then sometimes he would be like, I
Some
don't
shit
tell
need
you
to know.
stuff
And that's a normal.
to protect you. And now I find myself telling my children that. I find myself praying over them like my grandmother did for me. Like they're sleeping. I'm in there saying, you know, stuff like this. God, don't let my kids suffer for the sins I once committed.
Yeah.
Let me get my own karma.
Hey, I was talking to my little brother-in-law before.
And that ain't even normal.
when he first had
Throw
the
their kids out there. People
yeah.
throw their kids
Yeah.
out there.
I can't make it to work. My kid's sick.
Yeah.
Shit, ain't nothing wrong with your kid.
And you know, I tell people, and they think that it's crazy when I say that. I don't care if I had to call in 100 times. I've never lied on my kids. I have never sat on that phone and said,
speaking into existence.
my kid, yeah, because you, and what is that? Why do you say that? Because it was normal for your parents to say that. Don't speak stuff into existence.
Yeah.
And I believe in that.
But that type of shit, like what I learned from my parents, with my mama, you know, about speaking stuff into existence. Now that I'm reading heavy, so many books is based on that, and which is mindset.
Yeah, because
The mindset, because I seen one, he referred to it as, he said, your mind is like a factory. Whatever the fuck you
Keep
give it to,
Yeah.
it's gonna build
You gonna
whatever.
put out.
It's gonna build
Yeah.
whatever you
put
give the
into it.
supplies to.
Yes, I agree.
And sometimes, and we fuck ourselves up, and that's like when my great things are supposed to happen. That I say every damn day.
Yeah.
Every day. I don't
Because
even like it.
I normal is like that, and I used to be one of the worst. If there's a drawing, I would always say, I don't win shit like that.
Yeah.
Before it even happened. Or something's going good, it must be about the end.
Just
look,
speak-
I'm gonna get
People
this bad luck.
in relationships, you'll hear interviews all the time. Relationship going too good, they'll sabotage the shit.
Yeah, or
without even knowing it, but you subconsciously thinking like, this ain't
Exactly.
supposed to happen to you.
Why though?
And
Why?
that was, and like when I first started saying that, people was taking it the wrong way. It's not like supposed to happen to me like, I gave this nigga some money, he's supposed to pay me back.
Exactly.
No, it's expected. So I'm not surprised when some good shit happened to me.
No.
Like normal, because I mean, when you done came up in fucked up situations, you think that that's what's supposed
But
to
why
happen
is
to
it bad that you expect great things, but it's okay that you expect bad things? Why is it normal for you to be like, shit, the police gonna run up in here? But it's not great for you to say, I'm gonna retire this year, and I'm gonna start my own business, and I'm gonna be successful, and I'm gonna move out of here.
Some of it we ain't taught that, we ain't made it to that
it's
level.
Why is it normal to fail? and I'm gonna tell you something. I have
Why
taught
is
my
it,
kids.
other than normal, why is it acceptable?
I told my children this though. Paul sent me an article about that.
You ain't gonna get in on this one, go ahead.
Yeah, he sent me an article about failure.
I'll put my hand down.
And why when you're 4 and 5 years old, you look at a child and they fail and they jump right back up. They don't even realize that they failed. They just jump right up. Or the child in second place that has the award up in the air, but the one in first is focused on him. It's okay to fail. It's what you do after failure.
Yeah.
And that is what is wrong with some people in the black community. It's failure and that's the end. No, I failed at a lot of things. A lot of times.
I seen this quote, I can't remember who said it, but it was they said the best thing to do is the right thing. Second best would be the wrong thing. The worst thing you can do is nothing.
Exactly.
And that's what, like you just said, some people, and that's why you see so many businesses, I don't even know the percentage, but not even just our culture, but most businesses fail within 2 years.
When I took
And a lot of people are not going to try again.
Exactly, because they're afraid
Or
in
if you
fear.
talk to people about stocks, you lose in that.
I
You
called
lost
it-
one time.
And you lost. I called
And
Danny
so now,
and told
you
him,
ain't going to fuck with it
I lost
ever again.
13 G's one time. Remember that day you came? I'm like, Danny, I lost 13 G's in like the first quarter. He said, stop looking at it. Stop looking at it. You gonna lose. But what did you gain last year? I was so focused on what I lost.
That you couldn't see what
You'll
you had.
paralyze yourself.
I didn't even
You'll
look at what I
paralyze
gained.
yourself.
And that's the thing too.
But it's normal for us to look at failure.
Exactly.
As success.
And that's the thing.
No, it's normal for us to dwell on the failure.
Yes.
You'll dwell on the failures.
I had to teach myself to call people like Danny or like Paul when I'm going through things like that, because the normal would be call somebody like, fuck that. They
gonna tell you what you want to hear.
Yeah, you gotta call somebody to be like, okay, yeah, you lost 13. Let's go back. What did you gain last year?
Because a lot of times,
What did your company invest?
A lot of times when you talking to people, you really just looking for somebody to agree with you.
And I'm not.
You know what I mean? And that's why
because
sometimes
that's normal.
and that's like with
normal.
the constructive criticism and all that shit. You'll take it wrong because nigga, I called you for you to be like, Danny, you right.
But it's not.
you
it's
right.
I don't need a cosign.
For real.
I don't
You
need
know
no
what I mean?
cosign.
And I'm proud. I got a mentor that I love to death, and I'm proud. But it's not normal. It's definitely not you. But
You my mentor, though.
But it's normal for us not to have mentors.
Yes.
Who the hell is teaching you though? Then you know what I'm saying? Because you done already made the mistake. You can't keep calling your friends who are your age who are going through the same shit you're going through.
You need new friends.
To teach you to get better.
You need new friends.
You trying to get from A to B. There's a path already there. You gonna go to A, C, D, F instead of just, hey man, how'd you do what you did?
Yeah. But you know what I mean? That takes a lot.
That's what I said. A
It's
smart
not
man
normal.
learns from their own mistakes.
Exactly.
A wise man learns from
somebody
other
others.
mistakes.
But it's not normal for us to ask for help either. You
But
get what
why
I'm saying?
is that?
That's so
Because I have never been in fear to ask for help. My pride ain't that high. I would rather ask for help.
Mine used to be.
But
And it's still
I'm fucked up with
not.
help. I'm fucked up
But I'm
with
gonna tell you why. If I don't ask, where am I gonna be? The same place.
Well, my pride left when I had kids, I think. Well, it calmed down.
And I don't care what the
I
hell
ain't
it
gonna say it
is.
left.
You know, when my husband went to prison, I had to call my mom. She had to come over to my house every day to get my kids up in the morning. That was one of the worst things that I asked in life for somebody to do. My mother raised her kids. She works. She driving 20 minutes to my house, waking up 3
So
people.
the normal is, okay, it's another fucked up normal. And I'm not talking about your mom, just think about it. It's normal for our grandparents to feel like they raised us, our moms, and they done. That ain't normal.
Why is that?
Like, I'm your kid as long as you're alive.
No, you still teach.
Yeah,
You still
like,
educate.
like,
Yes.
I'm done.
Like
No,
you need your
you ain't
daddy
done.
as a 35-year-old man. Almost more than you did as a 17-year-old.
Because you still
But when I was
living.
18, you kept telling me I wasn't grown.
Yeah.
Now you telling me I'm grown. You know.
There's plenty of shit. Not like that's what.
It's normal for you to go to high school
Yeah.
and a black says, "Hey, get your ass out."
Can't wait till you 18.
You gotta go to
18.
college.
Like 18 is like a
And
fucking
18
holiday.
solidifies nothing.
Nothing.
But
you
nothing.
a boy
I was
or a
worse.
girl. Still.
I was worse
But
at
my
18 than I was at 17.
But I want my kids normal to be leave at 18, go to college, and really go off to college though. Experience it. I pray that don't too much happen while you gone. You're able to graduate. You come back home, get yourself out of debt, live a little, travel.
But why
enjoy what your
do you
success is,
assume they would
then
even
go.
be in debt?
My normal.
Why is that normal to
Well,
think
they
that
gonna
they
be
would
in
have
debt because
that?
I ain't paying for it.
Okay.
I ain't
Better
paying
than
for
grind
college.
for a scholarship.
I ain't paying for
Yeah,
college.
but for instance, I have 2 cousins right now, full rides. Tara's got a full ride to ISU. It's not the school she necessarily might want to go to.
Well, she gonna be at ISU.
But she, hey,
Ride, get the full ride
and go.
and get your master's
Go.
if you want to do something and you want to pick and choose.
And I
what
speak
you
But
into
you had that
existence
comfort-
that Isaiah will too.
But if you
but
had that
here-
comfort to come home though, that's a different because you're not 18 and just get out.
Yeah.
Man. That's not reality.
No.
Well, I got 2 things. Call me.
Go ahead.
All right, so with that,
I shouldn't call
number
you.
one, like one of the normals I want to create is options.
Yes.
To where you don't necessarily have to go to school. Because there's a lot of people getting pushed to school, some of them getting in debt, or you going
It's normal to go
for
to
4 years of your life for some shit that's not going to pay you.
Or for your parents.
You know what I mean? And the
parents want me to
colleges
go.
is just as bad.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to all
It's
the
a
art
big-
majors, but
it's a big-
you go to 4 years and come out with an art major and you don't get a job at a museum or to be an art teacher, what the fuck are you gonna do?
Exactly.
What are you gonna do? And y'all would take 60, 100,000 from this kid that's gonna get a $30,000 job.
No, all the parents, they got the money and income.
Yes.
How do you expect that to be paid?
But that
back?
goes back to
and then
what I'm
hold on, my second
Okay.
thing though, but Dr. Boyce,
Can't
I be
talk
listening to
today.
Dr. Boyce though. Sorry. But
I'ma kill you
he
next
was
episode.
talking about he was talking about the 18, how we push them out at 18 or whatever. Like keep them You know what I mean? Stay with me for 2 years, but the only stipulations is you gotta stack up $1,000 every month.
And that's what my
Think about it
cousin
at the end of a year or 2 years, $24,000. What kind of house you can
Exactly.
get? Instead of forcing them into an apartment that's gonna give them nothing in return.
No.
Stay
paying
here.
them 12, 13 grand a year.
Exactly. And when you move,
And that's
what
a loss.
you get the deuces, if
That's
that.
it. That's
And they
it.
probably they gonna finesse you out your security deposit.
Exactly.
Oh, the carpet's too dirty. We keeping all of that.
But that's why you go back to saying though, like I'll tell them, and my kids would tell you they was right here. I'm not paying for college, man, because it's too. Number one, it's too vulnerable of an age though, and you only going to college because it seems normal. You got to go. You're supposed to go. No,
Yep.
so you didn't earn it. Then I don't know what. Hey, call it what you want, man. I done my part.
If you didn't, what you say, King? If you didn't earn it them 4 years,
Hey,
maybe
I don't
you just
know-
wasn't meant for you to go.
Hey, McDonald's was hiring, and you got a 4-year move where you got to get out. But I'm just saying, I don't believe that you just graduate and then you're not born and then you wake up walking.
Yeah.
You have to go through stages.
Yeah.
So it's stages to adulthood.
And like you expected to be an adult without being taught how to be an adult.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or like men, you expected to be a man, and our fucked up normal. A lot of us didn't have a man teaching us
teach
how
you.
to be a
Right.
man.
So let's take another fucked up normal. This is personal. I'm going to throw that out there for all my viewers. You know I got a lot of followers.
A lot of
Check it out. I will say this: them boys got to get out for them girls because I do not take care of no grown ass man. And
That's
I believe
another fucked up
I
normal.
believe
That's
they mama will put me out before they got to go out because
Right, for sure.
it goes to a point
But that's
where you like,
yeah. What?
nah, I ain't doing it. So
You
right
look
now,
that different.
but
I've had them
But
conversations.
I look at my
with
wife and I be telling her like, you doing too much, or you soften them up because at the
Thank
end
you.
of the day,
Now I want to talk
ain't
about
ain't
that.
nothing
Why
to
is
do
it
that.
normal for you to baby your young men, but then tell your daughter she needs to be tough and handle things on her own? Why are we making girls tougher and making men sensitive? I don't understand
Hey, but that
Nothing
type
wrong
of
with a sensitive man.
No.
Because if you think
True.
of it, the
I don't
the
mind
daddy
you being
is gonna
sensitive.
always baby.
But you
the
are-
daughter.
hey, but a fucked up normal is that the man has to be
Tough
super
all the time.
ridiculous.
But I want him to be
Fucked
a
up
man.
Hold on,
I
let
want
me-
him to be
now-
a
now I'm
man.
speaking.
You don't have
The
to be
fucked-
tough.
no.
You
See,
don't
but
have
that's the thing.
I'm gonna
though.
say fucked up normal. The fucked up normal is these girls, these young ladies don't have enough daddies to show them how they should be treated.
And
That's
yes,
the fucked
but
up
see,
normal.
Yeah.
let's say this. Me
But
being a woman,
some of them
I
ain't got
teach my
women.
son.
Some of them ain't
Yeah,
got women that
exactly.
show them how to treat a
A
man.
woman- yeah, exactly.
Like it shouldn't be.
The world doesn't let you
There's
treat
a
your
lot.
man.
There's a lot of teaching that we really need to do because you got some women that think that
Don't cook.
the man's supposed to do all of this manly shit,
But they ain't got to do no work.
but they ain't gotta
But
treat
they
them
also
like
work
there's
it-
shit that a man
But they also
wants.
work just as much as a man though. So things have changed. It's
But
different.
it's
not
what's
the same.
normal in your
So you can't say
household.
what a woman
Because
should
it's
do.
some men that would want to cook. It's some men that likes. I was on the phone with my best friend the other day. She was cutting the grass. I said, I don't cut no grass.
That's cardio.
She cuts grass.
workout.
she was literally in the sun, 100 degrees, cutting the grass.
Tell her to wait till after 7.
But that's normal for her.
Ozone day.
They feed
Yeah.
off of each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
and like with
It's
stuff
gotta
like
be a
that,
partnership.
With,
Yes.
with relationships, partnerships, that's another thing that divides us. You know, you got people, well, a man should do everything financially, blah 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 blah.
why is that though?
But if you want to do this, like there's certain shit that I could do by myself.
Well, the thing about it is this.
But
the fucked up normal
if we
is
want
our
more-
cake and we want to eat it too.
That
That's
is the fucked up normal. You
Because
absolutely
look,
right.
Most women can live with a man and not work, and he can take care of the home, but you gonna move on woman. You ain't gonna be in Brownsburg.
easily.
It can happen.
I'm not moving on Warner.
So therefore, you don't want it. So if you
460.
with what you want, it's gonna take sacrifice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And
Big
I get
reward take work. So if you want this big house in Brownsburg and you want to afford it, you may have to go to work too. Now, if you don't want to work, now we can go live on Warman, and you ain't got to. So you want this
And
big
we
house,
moving.
so you got to
Okay.
work and figure out how we're gonna eat too, though. Like because if you want more, then you got to put in more work. That's
But
anything
is
in
that
life.
normal?
No, it's not normal for us to put in more work. We just want it.
What?
Go ahead.
This ain't even a long story, but off of what you were saying, man, I've been saying this to people for a long time now. Off of what you're saying, simple as this: be what you expect.
Exactly.
Be what you expect from somebody else.
I like that.
And that goes
Like
in
you
all
be-
aspects.
Man, niggas ain't
Teach
shit.
what you
Bitch,
wanna learn.
probably ain't shit.
Yeah.
If you come in here not shit, you gonna attract not shit niggas.
Exactly.
So, and even at work, like if you simply at the baseline of this, if you want to be respected, respect other people.
Exactly.
No matter who it is.
I think our normal, and we can probably wrap it up soon, Danny, I'm sorry. But I think our normal is wanting and not working.
Exactly. I agree.
And that's where the problem is lying. You
And
can't
adapting.
want it without working.
We are adapting to what's normal instead of trying to make a change.
Or even worse, what we think is normal.
Because like now it's normal for your kid to come home and get bullied and you call to school. It ain't normal to say, hey man, go to school, take up for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like that's, see, I ain't calling to school.
I'm gonna do both.
I ain't calling to school.
Which one is, what are you supposed to do?
I'm gonna tell you.
I'm gonna talk to you, and I'm gonna call to school.
No, I tell my kids.
And I might call
don't be the bully and don't be the bully and don't be the punk.
Exactly.
True.
Find yourself in between.
Yeah.
Stand up for yourself, but don't go bully nobody.
All right, so to wrap this up, what is your way that we can change the normal? What's a normal that you can actively change?
I have to start with my children. I'm an adult.
Because you're already doing it.
I'm an adult. I've adapted to some of the normals that I grew up with. There are certain things that I do that I wish I didn't do, but I am installing those things that I do not want my children to see into them every day. It's not I'm just talking to them. I'm making them live it. When they work, I make them save. When they don't clean, I make them stop whatever they're doing to clean. I punish them. I let them know. I've made them watch shows where black men are in jail.
You create structure.
I create. Yes, because I am nothing myself without structure. I need structure, so I enforce that on them.
Well, mine personally is, I'm a big believer in people's perception is their reality. So I don't want their normal to be what somebody else feel like is normal. You find what you think is normal and then you go chase it. I don't care what it takes. And that's why we go back to when we talking about not paying for school. You gotta want that. I can't pay for your school and you just go and do it. You gotta want that.
There's ways to make it
Yeah,
happen.
because if you don't want to do it, then go work a job and figure it out.
Yeah.
All right, my ways to do it, like you said, with my kids, you got to put to bed that do as I say, not as I do.
Amen.
Show them, you know what I mean? You got to, like I just said, be what you expect from
Be the
somebody
example.
else.
Exactly.
So
But let's go back.
if we want to change any of that, I mean, that's just something, we got to be the example.
Call on King.
I mean,
I know you're wrapping it up, but I have to say this. Let's take our families. It's not normal for us to graduate degrees. You know what I'm saying? It's not normal for us to be college graduates. Myself
niggas
personally,
is 30.
myself
First
personally,
generation graduates.
I know. I
You know
think
what
I'm
I
the
mean?
first male in my.
And it's
my-
some even lower that
Yeah.
high school.
But I went to school, one, not for myself, but because I didn't want to ask nothing of my kids.
Exactly.
That I hadn't already done. So now you look at your daddy, and it's
Yeah,
normal
I
to
was
get a
on that
degree.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
Now go get it.
Be the change you want.
Yeah.
Be
I'm-
the example you want.
Yeah, be that example. I mean,
Teach
I'm
them-
not
teach them a new
forcing
normal.
college, but you're gonna keep learning.
Forever.
That's what I'm.
Yeah.
Keep learning. You know what I mean? And that.
But
that,
college- you only
the
force
more
college if you think
the
it's
more
a price,
education, the more education you get, not just
And you don't have to learn in school.
standardized
Think about all the things you learn from a
institutional
book.
education.
From other people.
Exactly.
But then you
should
would
never stop.
You would not push college away from your kids if it's free. Nobody would. If
No,
it's
go
free.
ahead.
No.
Go ahead. I'm saying, but it's not. I'm not forcing
Forcing
them
it,
just
yeah.
because this is what you do
Yeah,
after
exactly.
high school.
Well, I ain't forcing you because I ain't
Because
got no debt.
sometimes the experience you can get in life for them 4 years
Exactly.
could put you way ahead of other people.
Dude, what I
A lot of niggas go to college and go work for somebody that didn't go to college.
Exactly.
see, I went to the service first, so I didn't experience the college life per se. But like now that I've been coaching these kids and they calling me and they excited, like it's almost like,
See,
damn, I
you,
missed that.
you got
You know
one
what
of the
I'm
biggest
saying?
vehicles though to change a lot of normals.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
You on a platform.
The proof is in the pudding.
We right there in the open. We got our kids. That's
Yeah.
right there within arm's reach. You got a whole generation.
Use that platform and utilize your peers. Utilize them.
What we did, you didn't see that amazing video?
It was amazing.
I did.
But yeah, we're going to wrap it up like that. Thank y'all for tuning in to the Call Me podcast. We'll see y'all next time.